What's up, fight fans? This is Kurt DeVille with Counterpunch Boxing News, and I have some new news concerning Oleksandr Usyk. Get this. Usyk says that he is adopting new workouts to prepare for big and tall Fury, hints at increasing weight. Oleksandr Usyk is making some tweaks to his usual preparation for a fight. The unified champion from Ukraine is in deep talks with the WBC titleist Tyson Fury of Manchester, England for the undisputed heavyweight championship. April 29th has been identified as the target date, and London's Wembley Arena is the preferred venue. The fight is far from a done deal, though, as we know, as organizers are in a disagreement over compensation. But Usyk, the former undisputed champion at cruiserweight, is coming off 2 consecutive wins over Anthony Joshua. In both fights, Usyk, who stands 6'3", weighed in at a career high of 221 pounds in order to compete with the hulking Joshua, which is 6'6" and routinely weighs about 240 plus. In Fury, Usyk will face even a bigger opponent. Fury is 6'9". For his last fight with Derek Chisora, Fury weighed in at 268 pounds. 8 months earlier, in the fight with Dillian White, he weighed in at 264 pounds. With Fury's size in mind, Usyk is tailoring his training camp accordingly. He has even suggested that he may come in a bit heavier than usual. He said there will be changes in strategy from the fight, but I'll continue to prepare in the same way, Usyk said to The Overlap. I'll do a lot of training, swimming, running, boxing. There will be new workouts because the guy, Fury, is slightly different. He is big and tall, so his combinations and boxing style will be different. There won't be any less work to do. If anything, there'll be more of it. I will gain the necessary weight to do my job properly. And if asked if Fury is more difficult than Joshua, Usyk answered in the affirmative. He said, yes, of course, Usyk said. He has a different style. Fury is more audacious, right? So, which meaning, people, he is more, he's willing to take more risk. Okay. But Usyk also offered a breakdown of his training regimen, which it is also known to be particularly different. And he said the first workout is 5 a.m. Mostly it's cardio. Then at noon, there is a second workout. If it's in a swimming pool, then I swim at least 2 kilometers in the pool. The main training session is at 6 p.m. on Wednesdays, and Fridays, and we have sparring sessions on Saturdays. As you have seen, today I run 10 to 15 or 20 kilometers. Sunday is my day off, which I dedicate to praying and going to church. Let me counterpunch. Normally, I would suggest any fighter that is accustomed to a certain weight should stay at that weight. Like, I remember Wilder was at 209, then he was at 219. And then he ballooned up for 3 fights, the Dominic Breazeale fight, the second Fury fight, and the third Fury fight. He came in higher, heavier. And 2 out of 3 of those fights he lost. And I think a lot of that was due to the fact that he gained weight and he wasn't able to carry the weight that he gained because his body frame wasn't accustomed to carrying it. Okay. And I think when you're dealing with that type of adversity by itself, weight, it could be a problem. But with Usyk, though, I didn't recommend him gaining any weight at all. But then I wasn't really impressed with him and with the Witherspoon fight, even though he made Witherspoon quit. The Derek Chisora fight, I seen him being beatable, okay? And I seen him go through some stuff. He could take shots. I know that because Derek Chisora was trying to take his head right off. But then he came in heavier against Joshua. And then at that point, I was like, okay, well, I know he's a great boxer, But then how can he compete if he's not used to that extra meat? Bars. But he proved me wrong, didn't he? He came in, he looked swift, fast, quick, and he looked like he looked at cruiserweight, but just at heavyweight. So I was really impressed. Now, to put on more weight, though, that's a question mark all by itself, because you're like, okay, well, will that help him or hurt him? And I think if anything, I think Usyk is a guy that trains like he trains because he knows if he's putting on more weight, he has to be conditioned enough to support that, okay? You have to be responsible with the weight that you bring on. You're responsible for that weight, because that weight, you're either going to use it or it's going to use you, right? Because if you're not accustomed to that weight, it's going to show. If you haven't conditioned yourself for the weight that you've gained, it's going to show. It's just going to show. And with someone like Usyk fighting someone like Tyson Fury, look, that's if the fight happens. But if we're talking about Fury, the type of Fury that I'm anticipating, I think Tyson will adjust. I think Tyson will be able to, throw body punches, and he will be able to press Usyk the way Usyk needs to be pressed to make that fight what it's supposed to be. Okay? Audacious, that word, that's Tyson Fury, because Tyson is not going to just sit back and watch Usyk do what, Joshua let him do. Because Joshua was just out of sorts and stuff. Fury will be throwing shots. Now, will those shots really matter? That's a whole different question. But the bottom line is he will know, and he will be throwing bombs. Okay. So someone like Usyk, it's interesting to know what'll happen in that fight, because he's training for that fight. However, I'll say this in closing. I think Usyk is training for a bigger guy overall, because you guys remember who is also 6'6". Filip Hrgovic. Filip Hrgovic is 6'6". So, in fact, he will definitely, fit in that range, because he's a tall heavyweight with long arms. And if he's ordered to fight him, if the Fury fight doesn't happen, I expect the same type of routine. Not saying Hrgovic fights like Tyson Fury, but I'm saying, it's not hard to adjust to that particular opponent versus Tyson Fury, because they're both big men, But I wouldn't recommend the weight, because I think the smaller you are, the better you are. But then again, I said the same thing about the first Joshua fight, and I was wrong on that too. So we'll just see if I am or not. You guys tell me what you think of Oleksandr Usyk rumoring to gain weight, more weight than normal, maybe 230 pounds instead of 220. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunch. Peace.